I kind of like things chronological
Mhm.
when it comes to like just your musical journey in general.
Yeah.
So I was kind of wondering like how you got into heavier music or extreme music. Like, was there
Okay.
a specific band or like a family member that showed it to you or anything like that?
Oh man. First question, you're already asking me to out myself as a poser.
Yeah, dude, that's how it is. Everybody starts off. My first was fucking Marilyn Manson, dude.
Yeah.
So you're probably fine.
Okay, so I, in a sense, I guess I was exposed to heavier music from an early age. I mean, my mother, who isn't like, I should state, isn't like fully like into the metal stuff.
Yeah, yeah.
She would always listen to CDs in the car when I was real young. So she had stuff like Metallica's Black Album, Godsmack's,
Okay.
Godsmack, and Evanescence, Fallen, and I grew up loving those albums, and you know, obviously my taste has changed at least a little bit, but
just a tiny bit,
just a little. So I enjoyed those. I enjoyed those albums, and when I grew up, I started listening to KBPI. Like I had my own little radio in my room.
Same.
Yeah. So I would listen to I'd listen to the shit that was on KBPI at the time, and
like Korn.
Korn was probably like, and this was like middle school, like early middle school. I was starting to kind of get invested into some Korn, and my some family members made me a MP3 player because I didn't have a phone at the time. But I had this MP3 player, and they downloaded a whole bunch of music on there.
Cool.
I was into Rob Zombie, and I was listening to Korn, and after that point, I started getting into Slipknot, and this was probably by like high school.
Yeah.
And pretty much ever since then, like it was. I'm
trying to get into like heavier and heavier stuff almost, or was that like kind of like you were doing that on purpose, or were you just like, oh, I like this, I'm just gonna listen to this now, this sounds cool?
Yeah, it was like some of those things just started not hitting the same, and I got into heavier music. But then I don't know what prompted me to fucking do this, but I mean, I had heard like black metal every so often. I heard Ghost Bath, which I hate to admit Ghost Bath being my introduction to black metal, but at the time it was just like, wow,
so different.
It was very different, and I got interested in black metal from a cursory glance, listened to a little bit of Mayhem. I'm just like, wow, this is pretty good. And then I found Leviathan, and that just fucked me up. Like holy shit, that was the first time I remember actually being scared by music.
Oh wow, okay.
Because Leviathan is fucking terrifying.
It's pretty intense.
So, but kind of at the same time that all that was going on, I was still like really into like some of the like the Slipknot stuff, a little bit of the Korn, and Rob Zombie. Got really heavy into White Zombie, and I still love White Zombie.
Yeah, no, I like Rob Zombie quite a bit still.
I don't know how I feel about him, but he's responsible for some great music.
Totally, yeah.
At a certain point, I just remember, you know what? I'm gonna look up the most extreme shit that I can possibly find, and then I ended up getting into gore noise, like
shit,
like
like that,
like straight up from Slipknot to gore noise.
Whoa!
And I remember the project that did it. I think it was called Glowering, and it sounded like a fucking tree being cut down, and it was.
It was just like, okay,
and that pretty much just prompted me to start doing a whole bunch of noise music.
Okay.
So I did that for a few years, and during that time, I just got more and more into extreme metal, and that's kind of where I am now.
Awesome. Well, I was gonna say that kind of. So, were you listening to that stuff and thinking like, oh, I can create this? I can sing over this? Like, because obviously, you're a vocalist.
Yeah.
But was that first, or were you trying to kind of like try an instrument or anything, or how did that kind of work out then?
See, it's really hard for me to retain certain types of information, so
Yeah.
I really did my did my damnness to try and learn piano and acoustic guitar, and I never learned how to properly play them, but I had them.
Yeah.
So I made a lot of noise shit with those and just doing whatever the fuck I wanted. And my whole goal with it was to be as disturbing and as creepy as I possibly could get.
Yeah.
So, when it comes to that, I mean, I was also listening to more metal at the time that I thought, you know what, I want to try these vocals. And I sucked.
Yeah.
I really sucked.
Yeah.
But it took years. It took years to try and actually be proud of what I was doing as a vocalist.
Totally.
And now at this point, I know that if I just like really hone in on a certain vocal style, then I could probably pick it up in a pretty decent, like a pretty short amount of time, at least on the basics. I'm not going to master it.
Right.
I haven't mastered anything.
Yeah.
But I know that I can at least, mimic people who I really like. Like when I found Cattle Decapitation, it was over for me.
Well, that kind of brings me, because the first time that I saw you sing with Teratanthropos was when you guys were at the Seventh Circle, and you still had Your Disposal in your set.
Holy hell!
Yeah. And I was volunteering there, like learning sound stuff. I don't think we ever properly met or anything, but
I don't think we did. We met much later at the crypt.
Yeah, much later. But I definitely knew about you guys and had seen you guys several times.
Yeah.
But at that point, I just didn't like introducing myself to people. I don't know why.
I hate introducing.
Yeah, so I was like, oh god. But I remember seeing that, and I was pretty blown away, man. Like that, when you did that, like that got me back into listening to more Cattle Decapitation.
Wow.
Like I was pretty fucking blown away, dude.
Okay.
Yeah, because that was just fucking next level to me.
I really appreciate that, man.
Yeah.
Like Your Disposal in particular is just a really important song to me. Like that was it. Like I had heard of Cattle Decapitation, and the video for Your Disposal popped up on my recommend. I'm like, okay, I stayed up all night, so let's check this out.
Yeah.
And 3 hours later, I was still awake, listening to the same song, watching the same video, and like just analyzing how Travis did that, especially the chorus. Like the chorus melody is one of my favorite melodies I've ever heard. Like vocal melodies in a song.
I totally agree. It's fucking awesome.
Yeah.
So for when you're making music on your own, do you write the lyrics?
Or I write all the lyrics.
Okay, cool.
For usually whatever project. Like if I'm doing guest vocals, I prefer the actual artist of the song to write the lyrics, just because I don't know
their vibe.
Yeah.
That makes sense. But I was kind of curious then, like, do you come up with the melody first? Do you go off of the music that's written? Do you come up with the lyrics first? Does it kind of depend?
So Teratanthropos was largely most of our songs were written lyrics first, which is a bitch for the other guys to figure it out, because I basically come up with, I just start writing, I figure out a cadence for sections, I come up with certain song ideas, and then I'll basically run interference with William, our guitarist. He's also my best friend. So
nice.
Yeah, we have come up with several of Teratanthropos' songs together.
Awesome.
And it's great. Like,
yeah, I've kind of learned, like, the very few bands that I've been in, I'll usually get along with the guitar player the most.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know what it is. I'm just like, you filled this need that I have. Like, you just like you have something that I don't have.
Yeah,
and then, like, just together.
Yeah. And William is a fucking genius. Like he is incredible at what he does. He also has the project Catalyst, if you've heard of them.
I think I've heard of them. I can't say that I've like done a deep dive or anything though.
Death thrash, they're really good.
Yeah, I was gonna ask, how would you describe Teratanthropos musically? Because I've always described it as tech death, but I don't want to like offend anybody by calling it that.
Trust me, man, you ain't offending me.
Yeah.
Might hurt William's feelings, but nah,
he's not here.
He's not. Teratanthropos really kind of lies pretty snugly within the technical, brutal death metal territory. I mean, if you really wanted to get obnoxious about it, you could say it was technical, slamming, brutal death metal.
Yeah, but that just seems like too much.
That's too much. Like, that's too much. Like, listen to bands like Surreption, Hideous Divinity. We kind of Hour of Penance. Not quite as extreme, as intense as Hour of Penance, but we kind of fit within that realm, I guess. And that's a pretty, it's a pretty specific sect of death metal, I guess. It's like modern brutal death metal.
It sounds good though. Yeah, like I like it a lot. And I was gonna say, like, I just listened to the EP again yesterday, and I was just like, damn, there's so many bangers on there, dude. And like, I know a lot of people don't like it, but I like the word catchy. And there's some fucking hooks on that. Like, it's good stuff.
I mean, I don't want it to just be, just in your face, intense, inaccessible all the fucking time. Yeah. Like, definitely love those moments, but I don't want that to just
the whole thing.
Yeah. Like, there was the song Counterpart. I'm really proud of how Counterpart turned out, just because there was a section where I could do falsetto vocals, and I love doing falsetto, and it's really hard to figure out a way to incorporate that into death metal.
That was extremely difficult, and when I heard it, I was like, the motherfucker did it. Like, I was so, like, that is seriously like a standout moment for me.
Thank you.
On that EP. It was fucking awesome. But I was gonna ask you then, like, when you're thinking of like your influences or what you want to do or whatever, are you kind of pulling from a bunch of different stuff that's not necessarily death metal? Like, are you just going all over the place, like heavy metal stuff, black metal stuff, and just being like, I want to try and put this in this one project?
So, I mean, I cannot speak for anyone else in the band. Sure. I know that they definitely prefer it to be more along the lines of, we don't necessarily branch out so far into other genres. We're not quite that experimental, but sure. I can say for my portion, I want to do whatever I think sounds good. I want to do things that that people wouldn't necessarily think to do it within this context. And it's still really hard to figure that out too, because, you can try some really random off the wall fucking idea and it just doesn't translate as well.
Totally.
But when it hits, it really hits, because
like, that paid off.
It's something different.
Yeah. No, I totally agree. Like, I think that really worked out when you guys blended that falsetto. Like, it was fucking awesome.
Yeah.
But yeah, I was kind of curious, like, how Terantanthropos came together. Is this your first band? Have you been in bands before?
Technically. Okay.
Yeah. You're like, damn, I gotta reach in the vault for this guy.
So I went to high school at Smoky Hill, and there were some other kids there that I hadn't met, like I'd seen around, and I was experimenting with metal vocals, and I think I just like found it on Facebook one day. This metal band that was out of Smoky Hill.
Oh.
And I sent them an email, because I wasn't super confident in my ability to do vocals at the time. So I just asked them, yo, can I do some like backing vocals? And
smart.
3 months later, they respond like, well, yeah, we're looking for a vocalist, like a main vocalist.
Yeah.
And so I went to William's house, and that was how I met him.
Oh, okay, cool.
And it went reasonably well. I mean, it was passable enough to have me in that band for a time, and that band ended up becoming Catalyst.
Okay.
So, and I decided at a point to just dip out of Catalyst, because they have a very specific idea of what they wanted, and I was not sure if I could keep up with that. But I still, no bad blood or any animosity or anything.
Right.
I was hanging out with William a little bit at the time too, just outside of the band context.
Totally.
And so we kept hanging out after that, and he and we tried to, like, we were talking about starting like a joke gore grind project at the time.
I think everybody's trying to do that.
Yeah. I remember we found this really shitty YouTube video, like a YouTube poop, if you remember.
Yeah.
About Sesame Street, and it was about Big Bird and him learning about autism. And,
you were like,
So we decided. So because we were edgy teenagers, we're just like, why don't we make a project called Big Bird's Genocide? And we never did anything with that. But it kind of led to us, because we wanted to do music together.
Yeah.
And we came up with the name neonatal mastication.
Nice.
And absolutely disgusting.
Yeah.
And we put out like a 5-track demo EP, like 5 tracks. It was less than 4 minutes. One of the songs was 2 minutes long.
Damn.
The first track we wrote was like 9 seconds. It's called Drown in Bile.
Perfect.
Yeah, so we made some tapes of that, like literally just 5 tapes.
Yeah.
And a few CDs. And William and I wanted to keep that project going, and because we put that out there, we call it the grind demo because we pretty much just put it out there to get something out there. Like, we wanted to know what we sounded like working together.
Sure.
And we met our drummer Nate at an aborted show.
Oh, okay.
In like 2019, I think. Yeah, I think we met him in 2019 at that aborted show.
Okay.
And it was with Benighted, Cryptopsy, and Hideous Divinity.
Oh, okay.
So It was stack lineup.
Yeah, for real.
Yeah, and so we hit him up. He did drums for Catalyst for a little bit as well.
Oh, okay,
and then he joined up with, that at the time, neonatal mastication. And then we had... And so at a certain point, we just decided, you know what, I want to take this project more seriously. Can we call it something other than eating babies during their first 24 hours of life? Excuse me, chewing on babies.
Not necessarily ingesting.
Yeah. Edgy bastards.
Yeah.
But, and then Nate put out, I think it was Nate who put out, like, a thing like, yo, we're looking for a bassist.
Yeah.
And this was after we changed our name to Teratanthropos. We had a few songs written. And Tiernan came in, just blew us the fuck away.
Yeah.
Especially for someone who hadn't been working with death metal for very long.
Oh, wow.
Teratanthropos was his first death metal band. And
wow.
He doesn't act like it.
No, he does not. He doesn't even look like it.
No,
You're just like, damn, he's a veteran. Like,
yeah. Well, he's a veteran now. He's doing this. He's in Obscene Worship too.
Yeah.
Another fucking fantastic band.
Mm-hmm.
Like, so
he does it all.
Yeah, and he's got that very gregarious, very outgoing personality. He brings a lot to Teratanthropos.
Yeah,
and we're really lucky to have him. But after that we just started playing live under Teratanthropos since July 20. It was either June or July 25th of 2021. We played at Black Sky, and that was our first show.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah. And we got a pretty warm reception and just
kept the ball rolling.
Yeah, trying to get better every time.
Have you guys like officially toured yet, or are you just playing locally for the time being?
So we've toured twice.
Okay.
The first time was with another fantastic band, Chronos Compulsion.
Oh yeah, I fucking knew that. Yeah, you guys were on that tour. Right when I asked that, I'm like, did they go on tour with Chronos Compulsion? Yeah.
I mean, it was like a mini tour. It was like 4 stops.
Yeah.
Denver, the Springs, Albuquerque, and Phoenix.
Okay, cool.
So nice little mini tour. It was very cursory. Like, we want to see if we can actually stand each other for this long.
Yeah, literally.
Separated from society and all locked up in a car together. Like, Jesus Christ, if anything's going to happen, it's going to happen on tour.
Yeah, literally. You're like, we need to be in our primitive states. Yeah, we can handle it.
Yeah. All forms of undress. But yeah, and then after that, we I think it was a little over a year later. It was just recently we did that tour with Obscene Worship, going through being again Arizona, New Mexico, and California.
Okay, yeah. I did know about both of those. I just forgot for some reason.
You're good.
You're like, you don't know?
Yeah. No, man, I forget about that shit sometimes too.
You're like, well, did I go?
Yeah. Hey, that was me, right?
Right. So I was gonna ask, you put out your EP what, 2022?
The final day of 2022.
Oh shit. Okay.
Our release party, I guess, was a New Year's Eve show again at Black Sky.
Yeah.
And that was a fun time. And yeah, we put out our EP a little while ago, and that's been, the reception of that's been very positive.
Nice. Yeah, no, it's sick.
Thank you.
So is your focus kind of on just doing live shows and kind of suppose promoting that EP, or are you guys thinking about getting to the studio? Because you don't have a full length yet, do you?
No, we don't. And actually we've actually taken a step back from doing live shows. Like, we did that one on February 17th. Yep.
Yeah, that was cool. That was a good show.
That was fucking stacked.
It's so good.
Yeah.
It was so good.
Just undefeated. But
yeah.
Like, I'm not even speaking on us. Like, Necropanther, Night Wraith, and Obscene. Like, Jesus Christ.
Yeah, for real.
Like, and we're just really happy to have gotten to play with all those guys. Like, just great people, great music. So it feels nice to be a part of that community.
Yeah.
But we're going to be taking a step back and going to be trying to write some more. We actually got a single that's going to be coming out here pretty soon.
Oh shit.
Yeah. Because you were there. It was the last song that we played.
That's right. Yeah. Dude, honestly, like, if I recall correctly, that might have been my favorite one, just because, like, I don't know, I just feel like every time you guys put something out, it just keeps getting better and better. So, like,
that's a major compliment. That's the goal.
Yeah, right. Like, yeah, if I was like, oh, cool, yeah, that would be a bummer. But yeah, no, it was really sick.
Yeah, thank you. I'm really proud of it. I think everybody else really likes it too. Definitely a little bit of a step away from what we have done.
Yeah.
Because we kind of delve into those doomier and sludgier elements. And,
sure.
Yeah, really just try and get a more emotional intensity and just heaviness to it.
Yeah.
Just trying to make it much weightier than what we've done before, even though I think what we've done before is decently heavy. But
yeah, I would say it is.
But yeah, we're going to be dropping that here pretty soon, and we're going to be writing our album.
Okay.
So we're taking a step away from doing live shows to do that.
That'll be fucking rad. Yeah. Do you guys did you go into a studio? Do you have like a home setup?
So previously, so William does all of our mixing too.
Cool. Yeah.
And so in the past, we've had drums either recorded at a studio or we've done it at Nate's place. Like for this single, we did it at Nate's place.
Yeah.
And he's got his own like little studio set up. So cool. It makes it a lot easier.
Oh God, yeah. Doesn't it? Oh
yeah. God, so to be able to do everything in-house.
Cheaper.
Yeah. Cheaper. Yep.
Yeah.
And so that's kind of, I think that's kind of what we're hoping to do with this. We might go into an actual studio for the drums for the album.
Yeah.
Just because of, obviously the intensity of the work that we're going to have to be doing for that.
Sure.
lot different than just recording one song.
Yeah, but, you're like, oh damn, this is 2 weeks or whatever.
Yeah. So yeah, that's probably how we're gonna do it. But I think William still might mix the album.
Okay, sick.
Yeah. And we already have several songs written, several songs that we've played live.
Yeah.
The new single, we're going to be redoing that one for the album. So there's going to be 2 distinct versions floating around, and I'm a slut for that. Like,
no, me too. I love that shit, dude. Yeah. Like, I'm trying to think. I mean, like sometimes you get like the demo version, this version, but I don't know. I like single versions and like album versions. I think it's cool. You can kind of hear like, you know, the growth or whatever, I guess. Yeah, it's fucking sick. And then you did a collab with Hex Siren. Obviously. I did. And that was pretty sick. Yeah, do you do a lot of collaborations?
So Hex Siren is the second one that I've done.
Okay, cool.
And it was, I mean, Frank is just a fucking joy to work with.
Yeah,
like, I love that man. But, the first one I did was with a band called Nihil.
Okay. I heard of those dudes.
Oh, they're really fucking good. Young dudes.
Yeah.
Yeah. 2 of the members were part of Catalyst at one point as well, and that's how I got to be acquainted with them.
Yeah.
And chill with these guys. I mean, they're all just great kids.
Yeah.
So I was really fucking honored that they asked me to throw down some vocals for one of the songs on their EP.
Yeah.
Which, if I remember correctly, is necroparasitic exhumation.
Wow, I can't believe you remembered that. That's a good name too.
It's not bad. I'm surprised it hasn't been taken yet.
Yeah, right. You're like, damn, that's a sick fucking name.
Yeah. I mean, Jesus, I named the EP Paroxysmal Dereliction, so...
Also great. I like long shit like that. We're like, what the fuck does that mean? I have to look this up.
It's cool. But, I threw down some vocals for one of their songs on that EP, and that was a great experience. That was a lot of fun. And I like collaborating with... Obviously, I want to keep it mostly extreme metal, but I also like throwing out vocals for different genres, because these guys are more of like a death thrash project as well, as more on the thrashy side. And then Hex Siren's like black metal, so very experimental black metal. I really appreciate Hex Siren for that.
Yeah, it's cool.
Yeah,
and I was telling Frank too, like, just the way your vocals blend with it, like it works really well. That's a good pairing. Like,
yeah, it was a lot of fun. I think the track turned out really well, and you know, I think Frank and I have discussed doing stuff in the future. So
cool.
I really want to see that come to fruition as well. Like, I just want to get. I don't necessarily want to get myself out there so much, because I'm really introverted. I don't like. I've legitimately stopped myself from going to shows that I really wanted to go to, just because, like, oh man, I'm going to see people I know.
Yeah.
And they're going to want to talk. And it's never anything against other people either. It's just trying to prepare myself for that social interaction.
Yeah, I get that. I'm extroverted. I thrive off of human interaction.
Yeah.
So I'm like total opposite. But I get it though. I was going to say you had the Bell Witch shirt on.
Oh, yes.
And that was a great show. And I purposely...
You were there?
Yeah, but that was the thing. I was going to say, I purposely decided I wasn't going to talk to anybody. Because I saw like 5 people I knew, and I was just like, I just want to chill out.
Yeah,
like, I'd seen 3 shows that week or something.
Oh, yeah.
And I was just like, by the time I got to Bell Witch, I was like, I just want to chill. Out. Yeah, I'm like, I just want to chill the fuck out.
Oh, that's a great show to just chill out to.
God, I know, wasn't it?
Never heard drums sound so pained before.
That's a great way of putting
it. William picked up on that too. Like, Jesus Christ. That is some tortured stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was a great show.
Yeah, that was good stuff.
And I had been into Bell Witch for a long time. Like, I was into doom and black metal before I really got into death metal.
Yeah.
So I remember just blind buying Longing from a record store.
That's my favorite one. I fucking love that one. So good.
Yeah, that's mine too.
Okay. I was like, you gonna disagree?
No, I wasn't gonna disagree. I was looking back at their discography, like, is that? Yeah.
Because this, this is kind of a weird pick, but I love Beneath the Mask with the Vincent Price.
Dude,
like,
oh my god, you and I are gonna get along so fucking well. That is my favorite use of a sample in any song I've ever heard.
So awesome.
It is so goddamn emotional. It's like you listen to that song and you're just automatically up in your feels, and I love it. I love it so much. Like, you called out the one track that I would have called out. Like, that is just my favorite. It might just generally be my favorite doom metal song, just
in general.
And you could even see it as an interlude because it's just really mournful guitars playing over this sample from Mask of Red Death, but the monologue and the tone and just
so cool. It is so good.
Just feels gasm.
Yeah, we're playing it right now. But I was gonna say, obviously Bell Witch we have in common. We're both big King Diamond fans.
Yes.
And I didn't. I think I saw your Instagram the other day, and I was like looking at all your pictures of all your records that you had, and you fucking met King Diamond. I did not know this.
Yeah.
That's so cool.
Oh, bro, I
have to know about this. That's so awesome.
Okay. Well, so I saw King Diamond at the Fillmore.
Yeah.
I think that was 2018. Might have been 2019.
Yeah, I was there too. I think it was 2019
with Uncle Acid and the Deadbeats opening.
And Idle Hands before they changed into Unto Others.
Yeah. So honestly, I'm gonna be real honest with you. That is the show that taught me that I cannot meet my heroes.
Are you serious?
And that is nothing against King Diamond.
Yeah.
It's just I don't like. Yeah, I paid for the meet and greet and the sign poster and all that shit.
Yeah.
And then I get in there and I was the first one in line.
Oh shit.
I go in there and I still wasn't like super familiar with King Diamond, so oh man, I hate admitting this. I just so the whole band was standing there like how you saw in the picture.
Yeah.
And I just made a beeline for King Diamond himself because I thought when not only was the meet and greet just for King Diamond, I did not realize that King Diamond itself was the band.
Was the whole guy, yeah.
Yeah, so I can't believe it. I beelined past Andy LaFucking-Roque and just went right to King. And then I got up there, I'm smiling like a fucking dumbass and just up there staying next to King Diamond. He's probably wondering if I fell off the short bus a little while ago, and I just didn't know how to talk to him. I didn't know what to say.
Honestly, man, I understand that. I've done one of those before, and I felt like a dream. Like I'm like, am I here? What's happening? This is so nerve-wracking. Like I don't even know what to say. Everything that I was gonna do, it just like cleared the cache. Like I don't even fucking know.
Yeah, and I wasn't even feeling that kind of anxiety until the doors opened, and I realized like I did not plan this through.
Oh, dude, that's the worst.
Doors open, I'm cooked.
Yeah, you're like, that's over.
Yeah, it's over. And then I spent the rest of the night, as much as I loved seeing King Diamond for the first time, I was just kind of standing there watching, like, I made a fool of myself in front of this man.
Oh no, I can't imagine.
Like,
oh man, I did a meet and greet one time. Like it was for Marilyn Manson, and
that's okay.
And
it was a different time.
It was a different time. And there was just some girl just crying. I mean, just like hysterically.
Wow.
And I was just like, and they had to like get people to like, okay, your minute or whatever's up, you gotta fucking let's go. And it was like. Everybody there was just like, oh, like,
was it just like the anxiety of having met him? Like,
I don't know.
Oh my God, I love you. Like,
I think it kind of was, and then I don't think she wanted to leave.
Oh man.
Oh, it was kind of kind of a mess. Like
that poor girl's heart got broken a few years later, didn't it?
Oh fuck, I bet Or it's either that, or she's like, this didn't happen. I met him. I know what he's like. Yeah, I don't know,
I've
man.
seen his real personality.
I've seen once in the whole minute of his fucking mouth. Anyway, but yeah, no, that was like your story compared to seeing that. I'm like, that's not even like.
Yeah, like I definitely know it could have been worse, but it's also like I paid money to make an ass of myself in front of someone who I really, really like.
That's just every meet and greet ever.
Yeah, I know. Like, for instance, like the same show that I mentioned meeting our drummer at.
Yeah.
We did an aborted meet and greet.
Oh shit! Okay.
And it was so much more casual. And like
you have the makeup on. Like,
yeah,
you're like the fucking. Yeah, I understand what you mean. Yeah.
So I've kind of sworn off of meet and greets since then, just because like if I'm gonna make an ass of myself in front of somebody I like, I'd rather just like do it like if they're like hanging out in the audience. Like, and obviously you're never gonna get that with somebody like King Diamond. But,
sure.
But like I've met a couple of the members of Cattle Decapitation at their shows.
Yeah.
Met Josh and Dave.
Oh, cool.
And it was so much more just casual.
Yeah.
It was laid back.
Yeah.
You didn't have to worry. I gave Josh one of the neonatal mastication tapes. I just had it in my pocket. Like, here, I just want to give this to one of you guys. Like, I love you guys. Like,
that's so cool.
Yeah, so we made 5 of those tapes, and hopefully one of them is owned by Josh Elmore still.
Wow, that's cool as fuck.
Yeah, that was great.
Yeah, no, I don't blame you though, because like, yeah, the meet and greet is weird. I did make an ass of myself in front of a corpse grinder though.
Oh wow!
I went to Psycho Vegas and he was not sober.
Really?
Yeah, he was. Well, what happened? I think that like Cannibal played that show and it was their first show post pandemic, and they debuted Inhumane Harvest. It was fucking awesome.
Okay.
It was so cool. But I think what happened was like. They played their show, and then he like was hanging out with people from that show to the morning when I saw him.
Oh wow!
So I saw him at like 8 a.m. and he was like still going hard.
Oh man!
And he was like talking with somebody and like kind of just having a private conversation, and I was just standing there like. And the person he was having a conversation with is like, "Why the fuck are you standing there? Do you want a photograph or something?" I'm like. I'm sorry, can I just shake your hand? And I did, and I walked away, and I was like, God damn it, I can't believe I just stood there awestruck for like 2 minutes watching this private conversation. Like, what the fuck?
I mean, it's corpse grinder.
Yeah, it was.
It's like, there are legends about this man.
Yeah, and he was so tall, and I was just like,
oh yeah.
Oh my god, yeah.
There was a video that just shocked me. Like, you know how I like doing falsetto vocals? Well, he can do them too.
No way, really.
There was a video I saw years ago, like a very short clip of him just in a bar doing "Into the Coven" by Merciful Fate.
Way.
Just belting it.
I saw one where he was on a tour bus and he was trying to sing "A Dangerous Meeting." But
really?
He wasn't really doing a great job though. So I wonder, like.
I mean, he had his falsetto down.
Wow.
I mean, the chest. Here's the thing: is King Diamond also kind of got me more into like operatic singing once like especially like do you remember like the middle section of Satan's Fall? Like whoa,
yeah. That part
Satan.
That song, dude. That song.
It's I love that song.
Yeah,
that one and Black Masses are my favorite Merciful Fate songs.
Sick. Yeah.
But yeah, that's harder for me than doing the falsetto.
Yeah.
Because it requires a lot more power to make it sound good.
Yeah, you were kind of saying like it's all in your chest. And
falsetto, you more or less just have to worry about range, and the power will come as long as you know how to push it.
Yeah.
But with doing that with your chest voice, it's all power.
Oh God, yeah. That's just intense, man.
Yeah.
Well, I think I don't know. I really like your vocals quite a bit. You probably have my favorite range out of anybody in the scene currently. Like,
I appreciate it.
Yeah, dude, it's fucking sick. Like, yeah, like I said, man, after I saw you do that one show at the 7th, I was like, damn, this dude fucking knows what he's doing. Like, this is insane. How did you even learn? Like, would you just practice at home or
learn how to do vocals?
Yeah.
So it just really started from it was kind of weird because you know, kind of like that whisper harsh vocal when like you're singing along with a song. I remember like I used to do this like some System of a Down songs. Like, Atwa, I'd be just like, you don't care about how I feel. I don't feel it anymore.
I've done the same thing. Yeah.
And then I realized, like, if I push that, I can, like, you don't care about how I feel. I don't feel it anymore.
Oh, like dude, yeah.
Sorry, that was probably really fucking loud.
I don't give a fuck. Throw a limiter on it.
Yeah.
We'll fix it in post.
Yeah, but I realized that I could kind of do that, and just kind of going along with finding heavier music to really enjoy. Like, I started practicing the Slipknot songs and just absolutely ruining my fucking throat.
Oh shit, yeah.
Like, I remember do you know the song Scissors from the debut?
Yes, I do.
So that's like a 7-8 minute song of just Corey Taylor just screaming his fucking brains out.
Yeah.
And I remember practicing that song and like being in a fucking daze because I was lightheaded, my throat was raw, but just not stopping.
Oh shit.
And it sounded like shit, don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
But I started doing that, and then I started realizing that I don't have to ruin my voice to do these vocals. And I started doing like the growls a little bit more regularly. When I got into gore noise, it really taught me how to do like the gore grind vocals, like the
oh fucking hell,
shit.
Yeah.
So, and learning how to do that, you start pushing that, and then you get a death growl.
Yeah, and you're like, that's kind of interesting. You started like really low.
Yeah.
Kind of. Well, I feel like a lot of people who try to get lower, they can't really start at that. So that's pretty impressive. I mean, I could be totally wrong, but that's pretty fucking insane.
So I know, I mean, you are right. Most people, when they start learning how to do these kinds of vocals, they kind of go for a more mid-range kind of shout.
Yeah.
And then they'll see if they can either go lower or higher. Like for me, I was not doing high vocals, at least good high vocals, for the longest, and they're still a pain in the ass to do.
Yeah.
Like highs, the way that I'm best able to push highs is almost strictly in a live setting.
Oh, okay.
Because you got the band behind you, the volume is full on up, and you know, you almost do that to be heard. Almost, you almost do that to hear yourself, and when you push it to that extent, for better and for worse, you start developing more of a range, and the more you push it, the higher you can go.
Yeah.
So when I do Teratanthropos live, I mean, I can't go nearly as low as I would in the recording, because you do that, it's not going to be heard on the microphone.
Yeah, no, it won't. Yeah.
Not with everything else going on.
Right. That makes sense. Like,
yeah,
I've heard that approach. Like, I can't remember which band it was. It was probably on that fucking Metal Blade, like 2006 behind the scenes shit or whatever. But one of the bands was like, yeah, you know, actually it was probably Black Dahlia Murder or some shit. But they were like, yeah, we were touring with Cannibal Corpse, and you know, with the shit we were doing in the studio, like we would have a certain approach, and then we'd go on, you know, you're doing that same approach, trying to apply that live. And after like a week, you're like, I can't fucking do this shit anymore. I'm not in the studio. I'm on the road for another 3 weeks. I gotta fucking like get my shit together.
Yeah. It's really hard to translate all that. So, you know, there's a major difference, at least in how Teratanthropos sounds in studio for vocals and how it sounds live, because I have complete and total freedom when I do the recordings.
Yeah.
Because I can whip out all these weird fucking vocal styles I want. I can do vocal styles that I can't do live. Like I can't do falsetto live while doing the harsh vocals that I do.
Yeah.
And I also do whistle tone screams.
Yeah.
And those are, you know what whistle tones are. Those really fucking high screams.
Yeah. They're like screeches almost.
Yeah, kind of like what you did to test. Just with a lot of power.
Yeah.
I used to call it the dying lady scream because that's exactly what it sounds like.
Yeah, it does. It's horrifying.
Yeah, so I can't do that live.
Yeah.
But everything else I can pretty much do to varying degrees of success.
Cool.
So yeah, it's just a different experience. I don't have as much power in my vocals in studio, but I make up for it in range, and live I feel like I make up for the comparative lack of range and power.
Yeah, no, I totally agree.
So give and take.
Yeah. Well, that'll be sick. Well, I think what are we, 47 minutes? Damn.
Already?
Yeah.
Jesus.
So I think we should probably wrap it up if that's okay with you.
Yeah. Whatever you want.
Yeah, man. Is there anything that's like coming in the works for you? I guess we kind of already talked about you're in the writing process.
Yeah,
right now.
we're in the writing process. We got the new single that's going to be coming out, Fractured Self,
Cool.
and that's going to be a great time. And yeah, I'm always open to doing collaborations with people. I want to do that. I want to get my voice out there. I want to have all these other musical experiences outside, even outside the purview of Teratanthropos, because honestly, at this point, I think I prefer genres like black metal and sludge even more than death metal.
Yeah.
At this point, and you know, I kind of want to dip my toes into that side of music more so now, even though I still love what I do with Terantanthropos.
Sure,
I'm definitely not giving that up.
Yeah.
But yeah, outside of that, nothing too much. I've been kicking around the idea of doing another solo album.
Oh, cool.
Very, very different from everything else.
Yeah.
Because I've been on a major Nick Cave and Leonard Cohen and Tom Waits binge, kind of that kind of music.
Yeah, dude, that shit's so good.
Like so I kind of I wanna do stuff similar to that, but also add that really dark and disturbing, noisy element to it. Like, see if I can.
Yeah. Just try it out.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for coming down here, man.
Yes, sir.
And
thank you.
Well, and hopefully I'll see you soon at a show or something. But
absolutely.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thanks again, dude.
Yeah.
Check.